Well, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court.
Did you get tired of being all that you could be?
No, I'm still all I can be.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I'm not gonna let this stand.
I'm the sheriff here. I'll tell you what'll stand.
More outrage over lax sentencing when it comes to violent criminals. This after a 15-year-old arrested for randomly killing a St. Paul woman who was just driving down the road.
Fox 9's Karen Scullin joining us now with more on the victim, Yuliya Li, and the young suspect with a lengthy criminal history. Karen.
Yuliya Li was 35. She was a 34-year-old woman, with an extremely bright future. Her life taken allegedly by a 15-year-old who many say should have been behind bars.
Yuliya was beloved by everyone that knew her.
Originally from Kazakhstan, but she fell in love with the Twin Cities while in school, and she and her husband moved here.
She had really an energetic smile, a can-do spirit.
1 week ago today, Li was shot and killed just while driving down the street in the Payne neighborhood.
St. Paul police are investigating after a woman was found critically injured in a shooting at the intersection of Payne Avenue and Cook Avenue in St. Paul's Payne neighborhood on Wednesday evening. Police were called to the intersection around 6:45 p.m. on a report of a person unconscious in a vehicle. According to scanner traffic, emergency crews arrived and found a vehicle in the middle of the intersection with a bullet hole in it and a woman inside bleeding from the neck. Paramedics arrived and transported the victim to a trauma center. EMS reported that she had multiple gunshot wounds and was in critical condition. Police reviewed surveillance footage from a nearby business and reported that the shooters were in a gray Ford Taurus which fled northbound on Payne Avenue after the shooting.
It's shocking. It's upsetting. It makes you angry. It makes you angry that our government officials are not doing more to make certain that criminals like this aren't taken care of.
Our message isn't that complicated. We're just out here trying to make sure everybody can have a productive, happy lives. When you're out here without any fear, we feel like we're doing our job.
And many would agree with him. At just 15 years old, the suspect in Li's case has a stunning criminal history. For starters, he was given just a 41-month stayed sentence in September for his role in an aggravated robbery, where victims were held at gunpoint. One victim was shot. He was serving probation for that crime when Yuliya Li was shot and killed. But according to sources, there's a lot more. January 2021, he was involved in another carjacking. June 2020, a victim was carjacked at gunpoint, the juvenile suspect given 180 days probation. October 2019, at 12 or 13 years old, he was arrested for fighting. He has also been involved or suspected in a burglary, aggravated robbery, discharging a weapon. At 14, he was caught driving and in possession of a half bar of Xanax. He's also currently a suspect in an active investigation from December, where 2 people were shot and injured.
All of us are a little scared. There's carjackings, and carjackers then become random murderers.
St. Paul Police Chief Todd Axtell released this statement. Sadly, this is yet another example of how our system has failed to put victims first, failed to help a young person going down a dangerous and destructive path, and failed our entire community. And speaking to Yuliya Li's murder, he went on to say this tragedy was entirely preventable.
The suspect in Yuliya Li's murder is expected to be charged as an adult sometime next week. He's currently in jail for Li's murder and for other unrelated crimes as well.
Well, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court.
Did you get tired of being all that you could be?
No, I'm still all I can be.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I'm not gonna let this stand.
I'm the sheriff here. I'll tell you what'll stand.